Hey everybody, Brain here. Just gonna give a quick update before the video starts. Thought I should let everybody know I lost my job. Not that big of a deal. I knew it was going to happen. I thought it was going to last till the end of August, but then it turns out it was the end of April. So for me, that means I'm going to try and find a new job and a new place to live. But what that means for you is that you guys get more videos. They're going to be even more low effort than the last one, which is saying something. I'll be able to work on my animation and more long form videos once I get settled in a new place. But in the meantime, this is a good excuse for me to show off the homebrew that I've made over the years. So I hope you enjoy. Barbarians, what's not to love? The big meaty marshals of 5th edition. I'm going to show you my favorite subclasses that I've made for this brutish battler since I've started DMing. Links to the PDFs down below. The first one on the docket is the Path of the Wraith, having felt the breath of mortality brush against their necks. Those that follow the Path of the Wraith attempt to imitate that spine-chilling feeling in combat. What better way to inoculate yourself against death than by acting like a reaper? Inkish form. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, your body shimmers and emits opaque smoke that makes you difficult for enemies to strike true. While you're raging, your AC is increased by +1 against non-magical attack rolls. Draining Rage. Starting at 6th level, your ethereal form is rejuvenated by the spilling of enemy blood. While you are raging, when a creature is damaged by bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing damage within 10 feet of you, you heal 1 hit point. This feature does not work if the damaged creature is undead or a construct. Familiar Chill. Also at 6th level, your body has become acclimated to your ghostly form. You gain resistance to cold and fire damage. Spectral Locomotion. Starting at 10th level, your enemies have fewer places to hide considering walls can't hold you anymore. You can cast Blink or Gaseous Form without using a spell slot or material components. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for these spells. After you cast either spell this way, you can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. Sundered Spirits. Starting at 14th level, you can tear out the souls of your enemies to do your bidding. When a humanoid has died violently within 10 feet of you, you can cause their spirit to rise as a specter in the space of its corpse or in the nearest unoccupied space. The specter is under your control and you can command it without using an action. You can do this once per long rest, and you can have no more than 3 specters under your control at one time. Something I enjoy doing when making subclasses is emulating certain creatures or monsters that my players have faced in the past, especially when they're spooky or supernatural like the Wraith. As a side note, if you need help making your own subclasses in 5th edition, look no further than Matthew Gravelin's Creative series on dmsguild.com. They're super helpful in breaking down what you should be thinking about when crafting your own stuff. I read Create a Path when making all these subclasses, and it immensely improved balancing when it came to the actual game. I'm not sponsored by it, this is just the tool I used, so check them out. The next one I made is the Path of the Gentle. Barbarians are notorious for their overt displays of anger and violence, more often than not having the subtlety of lightning splitting a tree. Barbarians of the Gentle are different, being able to bottle up their violent urges and releasing them in strategic moments. Fear the wrath of a gentle man. Self-control. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, your rage is subtle and loaded, like a viper hiding in the brush. While you're raging, you do not lose rage if you do not make an attack or take damage on your turn. This ends when you make an attack or take damage, reverting to regular rage for the duration. Melee weapon attacks deal an additional 1d6 damage for every turn you have this feature active and don't attack or take damage to a maximum of 3d6. You are also immune to the effects of Detect Emotions while raging. Bigger Man. At 6th level, you learn how to take it on the cheek, so that you can return the favor. While you are raging, damage you receive is reduced by your current rage damage. When you reach level 14 in this class, the damage reduce increases to twice your current rage damage. Subtle Tell. At 10th level, your time spent tempering your own emotion gives you perspective into the feelings of others. You gain proficiency in the Insight skill. If you already have this skill, you gain expertise in it, and you can cast Detect Thoughts or Detect Emotions without using a spell slot or material components. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for these spells. After you cast either spell this way, you can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest. Button Presser. At 14th level, you learn to direct your rage in efficient ways. While you're raging, the bonus you receive to your damage rolls from rage is also applied to your attack rolls. Do you remember that scene in Oldboy where the main bad guy gets so mad he snaps a CD in half and stabs that dude to death? This was based on that. This subclass is meant for players who want to roleplay a character that has a more polite but ready to burst at any moment sort of aesthetic. Some of the features are a bit basic, boiling down to just getting higher numbers as opposed to unique features, but I think this makes it more usable in a variety of settings. Last, but certainly not least, is the Path of Friendship. Barbarians rarely need an excuse to go all out. But those who follow the path of friendship tend to focus their rage into guarding the ones they hold dear. Monsters of all sizes will think twice about hurting the people you care about. I've got your back. Starting when you choose this path at 3rd level, the heat of your rage lets allies know they're being watched over. Companions within 10 feet of you gain +1 to their attack rolls as long as you're raging. For someone to be considered a companion, you must know their name and have spent at least 1 short and 1 long rest together. Get away from my wizard! Also at 3rd level, when you see a companion be reduced to 0 hit points as a result of an enemy attack, you have advantage on attacks against the enemy until you successfully land a hit on them, maintaining your rage as you do so. We'll win this together. At 6th level, your friends bolster your resolve and push you to fight harder. For every companion you can see while raging, your bonus rage damage increases by +1 to a maximum equal to your proficiency bonus. That's a promise. At 10th level, you can reassure someone that they'll be okay as long as you're around. You are able to cast the Warding Bond spell once per short or long rest without a spell slot or material components. Tag Team Attack. At 14th level, you and your allies are on the same wavelength in combat. Whenever you successfully land an attack on a creature while raging, the next attack landed on that creature by one of your companions crits on a 17 or higher. You'll pay for that. Also at 14th level, when you see a companion be reduced to 0 hit points as a result of an enemy attack, you have advantage on attacks against the enemy until it is dead, maintaining your rage as you do so and dealing an additional weapon die of damage on successful hits. You want to play a Goku? This is just basically Goku. I gave this subclass unique mechanics that allows players to take on more of a team-based playstyle, and it rewards players for getting to know other people and characters. Try it out if you want to try something new for the Barbarian. It might get a little crazy depending on how many players you allow at your table, but unless you're rolling with like 8 players, I think it'll be fine. Overall, I think this is a good spread of subclasses that a lot of people can make use of. You've got your damage, survivability, and crowd control from the Wraith path, you've got your role-playing and subterfuge from the Gentle path, and you've got your team-building, vengeance-based tank from the Friendship path. So, those are 3 subclasses I've made for Barbarian. Full transparency, I've only playtested these at my table, so your mileage may vary when using them yourself. I tend to skew a bit harder in terms of combat, so keep that in mind when you integrate these into your own game. I hope you enjoyed this format. I got plenty of these lined up, so look forward to that. Thank you for watching. Oh, and all those typos that you saw when I was showing off the subclasses, those were intentional. Totally intentional as a way of pushing engagement towards the video, because we all know that if you see something wrong in a video, you're going to leave a comment about how something was wrong in the video, and I just want to let you know that it was totally on purpose, and I am not just bad at writing. Also, like, subscribe, and bone marrow. Okay, one last funny thing to make note of. Did you know that technically when you upload a video onto YouTube, when you upload it, it'll ask you if you want to monetize it. But if you want to monetize it, it technically has to be longer than 8 minutes to do so. So, ain't that a funny... Okay, it's 8 minutes long. Okay, bye.